Hello and welcome to the first tourist bus simulator video on our channel. Yes, I finally bought that game. Let me see if I can park it here. So I'm doing this run here. This is going to be the return leg actually. So I've already done first leg. We're going to be going back to the airport out of Puerto, and I'm currently in Morojable. This is in the very south of the island of Fuerteventura, which is part of the Canary Islands. We're gonna drive north from here towards the airport. We're gonna drive on Fuerteventura 2 highway. I kind of wanted to show most of the island in this video, most of the map that is available, and kind of compare it to Fernbus Simulator because the two games are pretty much the same in many aspects. And the comparison is from an Xbox perspective. I'm playing on Xbox Series X. So the first thing I'm gonna start with is that I find this game, Tourist Bus Simulator, very expensive. And this is because it is about the same price as Fernbus Simulator, although I don't remember exactly how much I paid for Fernbus Simulator, but it is either the exact same amount or within a few dollars. Both games were $30-some. So from that perspective, Fernbus Simulator has way bigger map than this one. Like here, it might take you like 40 minutes one way to cross the map from one end to the other, but on Fernbus it will take you several hours, 3-4 hours to just cross the map. So this is the size of the map. Also the buses, you can see I'm driving the 2nd gen MAN bus, and this is the smallest one I think for this game because there are smaller spaces. You drive in, you need a smaller bus. So this is why I got the smallest one for this run, but I would most definitely prefer to drive the 3rd gen, but it is not available with the base game. You have to purchase a DLC for it. Versus Fernbus Simulator, here's our first stop. Actually, pretty nice view here. You can see the beach. We're in this little town. I forget what it is called, but yes. Anyways, so the buses that you get with the base game in Tourist Bus Simulator are just 2nd gen MAN buses, as well as the intercity ones, and the Neoplan Skyliner. That's it. For everything else, you have to purchase DLCs. While with Fernbus, you get all the MAN buses and the Cetras and the Neoplan. You also get the BB and the Sprinter vans in Fernbus. Here, you do get the BB van, actually. I forgot about that. So you do get the BB van, you don't get the Sprinter van. So a lot less buses. At the end, if you want to purchase all the buses, you would end up paying over $100. Versus in Fernbus, it was like less than $60 to have all the buses available. And then to purchase even Denmark was like total of $80 or something like that. Again, way bigger map, a lot more buses available. And navigating this sharp turn here. But here we are on the freeway. There are a couple of freeways on this map. The Fuerteventura 2 and Fuerteventura 1. Both have 110 speed limit, which see't like it's also for buses 110, but unfortunately we only have 100 kilometers an hour speed limiters on these buses, so they're limited to 100 kilometers an hour. They can't go faster, but here traffic seems to be driving a little bit slower than Fernbus. In Fernbus they usually go like 120, 130. You know, these are the speed limits in Europe, so they always pass you with the exception of trucks, while here you might end up passing cars if you're driving 100 kilometers Now I actually did check. Oh, and the dust storms, they do happen in real life. But I actually checked the speed limits in Fuerteventura, and there is a section of this freeway that is actually 110, but most of it in real life it's actually 100 kilometers. And this is nowadays. The game was made a few years back, 2015 or 2016 or something like that. So they might have been different back then. And again, this is actually a real map in 1:5 ratio of Fuerteventura. So all the places that you're gonna see here are pretty real. So this is nice. I think I'm gonna be passing this guy now, or maybe not. Let's see what's gonna happen. But yeah, it is a real map, a real place. However, it is way smaller than Fernbus, so I'm really surprised that it's actually way more expensive. To get everything again in this game, you would end up at around $100. Now, this of course, I can't really see them expanding on it because they already have the whole island, so there will be no DLCs for map extensions here. There will be map extensions on the Fernbus side. They do have. Poland just came out on Steam, and it will hopefully come soon on consoles. But yeah, here we won't have that. This is the limit. So once you purchase Poland, actually you might start paying more money for Fernbus. But Fernbus again is way bigger in game. But one thing I need to mention here is that Tourist Bus Simulator actually have a management mode. So basically it's like you have a company for tourist buses, tourist tours, and you start I think with one bus only, and then you can purchase buses, hire employees, and there is kind of like a story to it as well. You kind of explore the map, you go different places. As you grow your business, you get different jobs, different tours. So this appeals to a lot of people, not to me. This is not management mode. You do have a mode where you just select your route, kind of like select your stops, very much like Fernbus. So this is what I'm doing here. But possibly I've seen people complaining online why Fernbus, or on Facebook that is, why Fernbus doesn't have managerial mode, how this is not good and whatever. But I couldn't care less. So to me, I'm not interested at all in the managerial mode. But obviously, there are people who care about this, and I'm assuming this is probably why this game is so expensive, is because people are more interested in the managerial section or the story of it. I don't know. I'll have to guess. But if you're interested in just driving and you're thinking which game you want to purchase, I would say just go with Fernbus. Cheaper, and you get way more real estate to drive on. Here is much less. That being said, it's really different. You can see how here you drive on the smaller roads. You can do that in Fernbus as well. Although in Fernbus, the sat-nav or GPS will always try to take you on the autobahn, on freeways. And this is because it's safer, and in Europe there are so many autobahns or freeways. And there aren't many autobahns here on Fuerteventura, so you'd be driving on like small country roads like this one quite a bit. So this game is better for driving on these roads, and it's also like for tourists, for tours. It's not really for transportation from one big city to another like Fernbus. This reminds me of my vacations in Cuba and taking the bus that picks me up from the airport and brings me to the resort. So definitely the two games are different. But but at the same time they're very similar. All the controls are the same. Opening the doors, everything, like the menus are all the same. You will oops trying to go outside here to view the bus, and there we go. A little bit catching up with time here, so we can actually take a look at the bus from the outside. If I can actually get a good view of it. But yeah, this menu is exactly the same in Fernbus. So you open the doors the exact same way. I mean, almost everything is exactly the same. There are a few things, like for example the outside view. I couldn't get here right away. This works with one press on the right stick on the controller on Fernbus, but it doesn't work the same in Fernbus Simulator. You have to press several times to get outside. It takes you through different cameras. To do that on Fernbus, you would use the D-pad. So there are slight differences. Also, in Fernbus Simulator, you can see in the menu the announcement, but you cannot use it because this is not Fernbus. And the paint jobs, Acker routes, I'm using the same red paint jobs, so they are the same like Fernbus. And I'm running 5 minutes late right now, so I'm gonna no. Okay, so it is very hard to actually stay on time in this game, I find. In Fernbus Simulator, I'm always an hour ahead of time, but here it's really hard. I don't know. Some of the longer trips between stops that you take, it's a little bit easier to stay on time, but the closer ones, it's easy to fall behind. Oh, there we go. I did manage to change the view quick enough. But yeah, this is the same paint job I'm using in Fernbus. This is second gen on bus. I've never actually recorded a video, Fernbus video with this exact model or even type of bus like the second gen. I think I did only with the third gen. It's looking pretty nice. I do like it. You can really see the back door here. There we go, it closed, and then we can go inside to close the front door. I think I actually have to open the back door. I'm not sure if I do, but I feel like people are not getting off. Even though you don't actually see them getting off, I feel like too many people are stuck inside the bus. If I don't open the second door, I'm not sure if that's a thing. But now let's talk about the crash. I'm not sure if I'm imagining things here. Maybe just the map is a little more challenging. There's more traffic coming, okay. But I do notice a little bit of a stiffness on the steering. Like, it's not as responsive as Fernbus. You can lose control like that in Fernbus as well if you're driving too fast. But I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit easier here. But again, some of the turns here on this map are really sharp, so maybe I was going way too fast on that one. But again, I think the steering is a little bit more difficult and unresponsive on this game, and it's really hard to stay on time. I'm not sure what happens if you're on the management mode, if it is so hard to stay on time there as well, or if there is a way to change the time. Maybe I haven't figured that out yet. But so far, I feel like I need to drive like Ayrton Senna here to be able to stay on time. And by the way, this stiffness or delay in steering kind of reminds me on the road truck simulator. We have that there. I mean, it's not quite as bad here, but I kind of feel like it is kind of like on the road, and kind of you have to steer in advance just to be sure. Maybe I'm imagining things, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. But okay. keep have to make it outside. And the good news is by now I have caught up on time, so this is really good. And we can actually spend a little more time looking at the bus from the outside. Palm trees, not so much the bus. Oh, how nice would that be right now? With some sunshine and palm trees. Oh, we have underground ocean here. And something I forgot to mention here, you notice the people are actually boarding the bus. They're climbing through the front door. You don't have that in Fernbus. They kind of like teleport themselves onto the bus. Let's see, traffic here. Have to wait for this truck. There we go. But yeah, in Fernbus, you actually interact with them when checking for tickets. Here, you don't check for tickets, so you kind of operate sort of like a city bus, but it's a coach bus. Basically driving a little bit larger distances between towns. I guess the intercity buses would be pretty good for trips here. And I guess I'll also mention here Bus Simulator 21. It does have a little bit of a rural area, so it's kind of similar in a way to driving Bus Simulator in the rural areas, but there are only a couple true coach buses in Bus Simulator 21. Most of them are city buses, so that's the difference here. You're actually driving coach buses. And of course the map here is much bigger than Bus Simulator 21. Bus Simulator 21 is strictly city buses, city transport, because now they have the trams as well, so it is different. I do really like Bus Simulator 21. It's a very nice experience driving there. One feature of that game that I'm missing here. Oops, this is short term. There are quite a few of them here. Speak left and right. So this is something like when I approach an intersection, it's easier to use a button to speak left and right. Here I'm using a controller, and it's easy to kind of like lose control over up and down, and it's kind of weird to use a controller for that. I kind of lose direction and stuff, so it's much better when you have a button for that. And I'm catching up with traffic here, but I'm not even going to attempt passing anyone. It's pretty much impossible on this map to pass on these roads. It's just I've reduced traffic density to 50, which I find pretty decent. Actually, this is probably another thing I should have mentioned. I really like the traffic here. They seem to be better than Fernbus. I still like to lower the density because I like to deal with a lot of them, but 50 seems okay. Oh, intersections. You kind of want to be driving the speed limit at those intersections, usually lower, 70 or 60. The reason is if somebody comes in, if you're driving well over the speed limit, they'll just pull in front of you and then you're gonna crash. Now, coming up to a stop here. I'm not sure why this one on the right is not open for me yet. I don't know if it will open later, or like how does that work? Do I have to play the management mode to have it open? But anyway, so we're going into this town here. It's gonna be a little bit of tight driving, like tight corners, little tight streets, so we're gonna be able to see a lot of the stops in this game are like, because for the most part I chose stops that were right on the main road so far. But here we're in a little town. These left turns can be tricky. Okay, I missed it. The stop is like right there to the right. Yeah, I want to do this outside view while parking here. And I've caught up, so I have a couple minutes to spare. So this is why I want to do some outside view, because we do have time for it. I don't have a lot of spare time. I haven't had. I've been running behind for the most part. Okay, let's open the doors. Not a lot of people here, but some interesting buildings. I'm not sure to what degree this is realistic, but I'm thinking probably a lot of it is. The buildings and stuff. I've never been to Fuerteventura or any of the Canary Islands, but from pictures and videos I've seen, this looks very realistic. So now here it tells me to turn right. Now right turns are pretty tight, so instead of doing that, I'm gonna go straight. I'm not sure if this is actually a better idea. I just think it is. There are right turns here too, just not at intersections. And there can be oncoming traffic, and it could still be difficult to negotiate the turns like this one right here. If there is a car coming, it can get pretty tight. You can see how close to the curb I am. And then, yeah, I did go over the curb a little bit here. Still, we were going to come through here. Right, but instead, yeah, went straight. And we're gonna keep going straight around here. Again, another turn that can be hard to negotiate if there's traffic coming, because I have to, with this bus, take a wide turn. I guess the BB van or the Sprinter van would be perfect for those streets around here. But we're going back to the roundabout from which we entered this little town. So that we're back on Fuerteventura Tour V2 road. In this section, it is not a freeway. But next stop is the airport, and this is the last stop of this this run, this route. So this will be the end. So to summarize my first impressions from Tourist Bus Simulator, again, I'm really new to this game. I just bought it. It took me a while, of course, but I only bought my Xbox Series X just this November, so I didn't have time before that. I was playing on Xbox One, so none of these two games were available there. Fernbus or Tourist Bus Simulator, that is. I did play Bus Simulator 21 before. But yeah, this game is very similar to Fernbus, but at the same time it is different enough. Like, the landscape here is very different, the roads are different, so it is nice to drive on a different map. But I do find it expensive. If you were choosing which one you wanted, whether you want to buy Fernbus or Tourist Bus Simulator, the first thing I would say is Fernbus, much bigger map, much cheaper to get all the buses. We're approaching the exit here for the airport, so let me pay attention to that. There we go. Miss that, but yeah, so Fernbus is cheaper for what you're getting. Like, if you want to drive, if that's all you want, to just drive from points on a map that you select, then Fernbus is the better game. Now, Fernbus does not have management mode, so if you want to manage your own company, buy buses, hire employees, you want to go with Tourist Bus Simulator. Here we can do a little bit of outside view. Let's do that. It's nice and straight. I'm gonna go slow, so let's take a good look at this bus. They look the same like the ones in Fernbus Simulator. Again, I've never uploaded a video with this bus, the second gen man bus, either of them. And I don't know if I already mentioned this, but I am playing using steering wheel. So this is Suzuka 900R. So the 900 degree, it really makes it realistic when turning. So I'm actually like turning the wheel quite a bit. It's not well, it's still called a racing wheel, but it's really turning like a normal steering wheel. And the amount that I'm turning the wheel is pretty similar to what you see the wheel turning on the screen. So that's the good part. It is really enjoyable playing the game with a steering wheel. Again, this is a very expensive game. You end up paying $100 for it if you buy all the buses and stuff. For that much money, you can buy a pretty decent steering wheel and go get yourself Fernbus instead. Yeah, steering wheel makes a huge difference while playing this game, so consider investing in one. Oh, look at that, look at that. Let's take a look at this sign. Oh, it says 120 kilometers on freeways. I don't think I saw 120 anywhere on the freeways in this game. And I think we can actually do outside view here as well. A little bit more of it anyways, but yeah, I also checked the actual speed limits, how they are right now in Fuerteventura, and for the most part on the freeways it's 100 kilometers an hour. They only have one sections of FV2, the very beginning where we started this video, where it is 110. Now, I also wanted to mention here, this run was almost all the freeway that you will get on this map. So if you want to drive on the freeway, nice long relaxing drives, you want to get Fernbus, you don't get this You saw how much freeway there was here. There is a little bit more to the north of Puerto de Rosario, and that's pretty much it. From where we started, there was very little more freeway to the south, and that's pretty much it. What we did in terms of freeway is more than half, way more than half, probably 3/4 of the entire freeway on this map. So we covered a lot of it. The rest on this map is pretty much like the small country roads. Anyways, this is the end of the journey here. This is our final stop. Let's open the doors here. And to be honest, I've actually done this before, so I'm really wondering what's going on here. It's nobody's getting out of the bus. Open the rear doors, see if they actually. Oh, nobody's coming out. See, they're just sitting there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're doing there. Am I doing some? Oh, there we go. So now, oh, we got 100 on a lot of things. Schedule, arrival, and departure is pretty low. But yeah, the times are hard to make in this game. Anyway, so this is it for this video. Thank you very much for spending the time, and I hope I'll see you in our next video. Goodbye.